MTN was very, very slow and contributed to the casualty. That's why NCC looked at its regulation and imposed that fine on them.
A welcome parade for South African President Jacob Zuma in typical Nigerian style. Mr. Zuma arrived Monday night for a 2-day working visit. He's received by his Nigerian counterpart, Muhammadu Buhari. Both leaders are keen on strengthening relations which have lasted nearly 17 years, but dwindled in recent past.
The bilateral ties between both countries kicked off since 1999 from 4 companies. Over 120 South African companies do business here in Nigeria. President Jacob Zuma's visit seeks to further boost trade and investment between both parties.
Both leaders, alongside their teams, met behind closed doors for over 2 hours. The result of that meeting, 30 agreements ranging from trade relations to security.
Our 2 countries have signed over 30 bilateral agreements and memoranda of understanding. These agreements cover a wide range of cooperation areas, including trade and industry, transport, energy, defense, and security, and immigration, among others.
But that's not all. The leaders are keen on building a strong force to tackle the issues of insecurity in Nigeria and the African continent at large. Africa has been plagued by persistent terror attacks, and Nigeria has had its fair share. Boko Haram insurgents whose activities have led to the deaths of more than 20,000 people.
We discussed issues related to peace and security in the continent. We noted with great concern the challenges posed by terrorists and extremist groups that continue to affect some of our countries on the continent, including Nigeria.
Both leaders also agreed that the African continent and peoples should be reckoned with and given a permanent seat in the UN Security Council.
Internationally, we like to demand through the international community, applying to their questions, that Africa deserves a place in the Security Council of the United Nations.
Under the immediate past administration, several diplomatic rows broke out between South Africa and Nigeria. The seizure of $15 million reported to be for the purchase of arms to fight Boko Haram. The ailing relationship was further strained by a spate of xenophobic attacks. But Jacob Zuma and his host, President Muhammadu Buhari, are now trying to reset that relationship. Kelechi Emekalam, CCTV Abuja, Nigeria.
Let's now get you more insights on the visit, and we're joined by CCTV's Sophia Dengo live in Abuja. Sophia, what have been the key highlights of the visit to Nigeria by the South African president?
Well, Penina, it's been a very interesting observation for we as the media corps, having a first-hand account. Yesterday, after the talks, President Zuma and President Muhammadu Buhari came out to speak openly to the press, reiterating the fact that there is a strong commitment. President Zuma turning to President Muhammadu Buhari and really recognizing that Nigeria is a large trade encampment, and it would do the South African economy a great injustice not to be able to talk over issues that are very much aligned when it comes to the economy. And President Muhammadu Buhari turning to President Zuma and saying that perhaps the cooperation that is required is firstly one of in this country security, and then of course the economy. Both leaders really reiterating the fact that there is a need for African countries to coexist and to aid one another. President Zuma pointed out, though, that there must be a faster movement in creating bodies that do help both countries coexist. For example, the South African-Nigerian Binational Commission was really tasked with, trying to make sure that Nigeria and South Africa can really be able to trade with ease, can be able to have political dialogue. But of course, the breakdown in communication that was seen much of last year, and of course culminating in President Zuma's visit, requires a finer look at some of these issues. President Zuma, of course, reiterating that his Minister of Cooperation and Internal Relations is considering, some kind of laxed agreement for people who are going to do business in South Africa in terms of coming to the country, creating what he termed as soft borders. And, President Muhammadu Buhari also considering that South Africa has been fundamental in bringing foreign direct investment, and not to mention expanding, 120 companies from 99 almost 10 years ago. And this exponential growth requires Nigeria to also embrace this kind of investment and also improving employment in the country. Along the lines of politics, both countries have agreed that going forward in this new leadership for President Muhammadu Buhari, that it is indeed a new temperature for both countries, culminating at the end of the day in an annual meeting that is going to be jump-started as a result of these talks. Penina?
All right, Sophia Dengo live there in Abuja. Many thanks, Sophia, for that.